What is up, everybody? It's Saturday night again. This time with the ladies of the Niners. We've got Niners Jess here, and we have two special guests. We have David McNiner and Bryant Cole. How are you guys today? Thank you for joining us.
I'm good.
Doing
And
awesome.
I could always go out and get me a wig or something if I need to, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I don't know how that would
But-
look, David.
Yeah.
No, that wouldn't be necessary.
hey, a long time ago, I lost a bet, but I actually had like hair and long hair at that point, and this was Halloween. Yeah, all the ladies in the friends group got to dress me up as a girl, and it was very realistic. I mean, we went out and I had a guy or two approach me at the bar. So I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. And it was
Wow.
like they're like, "Hey, how's it going? Can I get you a drink?" I'm like, "I'm not sure if you're gonna want to." They're like, dead silent, kind of pale in the face. It was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna have a good night."
Wow.
Want to take a moment to shout out our chat. We have the lovely Dawn here. Thank you so much. And we have
What's up, Dawn?
Eric Morris. And it looks like we have CarCast, 49ers Talk. Thank you so much. And Steve-O Supremo. Nice. So this is awesome. So yeah, we are definitely enjoying our Saturday night, coming off a incredible victory. Not one of your average, everyday Sunday kind of games. It was the game of the year, in my opinion. Those pesky Eagles. How has your week been since we have whipped some Eagles?
Let's start with
Oh,
Jets.
it's been awesome. It's been super cool. Even though we had Victory Monday, it was still like Victory Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, like throughout the week. But, at some point we got to switch gears back to Seattle for round 2. So, but it was awesome.
David, how's your week been?
It's been pretty good. We didn't only beat the Eagles, we smashed them. They flew directly into a red and gold brick wall. So that it was definitely nice to see. I had this one circled when the schedule came out, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this was the game. I mean, there's a couple other incredible games that we'll be facing off later this year too. Like that Christmas game, but that Eagle game for sure. It resonated, a revenge tour.
Well, it's bird hunt. I got my camo on.
Nice, love it.
So
It was that game that we did not like how it ended last year. It really, really, really didn't sit well with anybody. From the moment the catch happened and we didn't challenge it. We continued to play. We went out there. Our offense had confidence in themselves. We had one bad play and our quarterback got hit. And we didn't know what was going on, and we go to punt the ball, or whatnot. It was a fumble. They recovered it right there, ruled a fumble. So our team comes off the field, and we're still in confidence. Like, okay, we can move. Then we find out Purdy's out, and then you guys seen the score. CMC wielded himself to a touchdown. I've said that multiple times, and the crowd silenced. And with this game, after I don't know scoring 2 touchdowns in a row, 3 touchdowns in a row, 4, 5, 6. I don't know at what point the crowd started to leave. But at the end of that game, it was Niner fans. There weren't too many Green Eagle fans. Fly, Eagles, fly. I think they definitely flew out of that stadium. So it is really, 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 really wild how different the game went when we were healthy.
Yeah, that's definitely seemingly the key, especially when it comes to these matchups with, number 1 seed potential teams. Not that I'm going to say they're going to get the number 1 seed, but they are almost claiming that throne. But we're still trying. We're still trying.
Well, there's a really, really good chance they can get it. We did a show this morning, and I'm going to steal some of my little clips from it. No videos, guys. No 10 seconds. I'm not going to take 10 seconds from you. But we have the little, where is it? The banner right there? Boom. If you watch this down below, and I'm just going to let it scroll for a little while, these are the teams currently, right now, if the season ended, would make the playoffs. We currently have the second spot, but we can take the first spot. It just right now, if it ended today, this is where the seeds are going to be at. This is who you have to play. So for us right now, it looks like we might have to play Green Bay. I don't think that's that bad of an idea or that bad of a game. I think that might be a really fun game, actually. Green Bay, their fans travel well, so the game will definitely be red and gold, because those cheeseheads, they got some – what you want to call them, gold pants, yellow, yeah, I don't know. But they travel, so they'll be in the stand as well. It will be a friendly atmosphere, even though it's playoffs. They're really probably lucky and really thankful that they've gotten as far as they've gotten. I think at the beginning of the season, when I was telling everybody it was a season of love, everybody was just laughing. But it might just truly turn out to be that way. Jess, what's your thoughts? Is there a team right here besides the 49ers that you would not want to see in a playoff game or in the Super Bowl?
Uh-oh. I think my Wi-Fi crapped out.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I thought she was looking at it going, well, I'm not scared of anything.
I thought the
on one
dramatic
second.
pause was too. Okay, David, same question. Is there a team here that you would like to see or wouldn't like to see, or, same thoughts? You don't really want to see them in the Super Bowl. I can't tell you there's a I wouldn't.
I mean, first round, it would be the Packers right now, but we still have games to play, folks. So there's no telling who that 6th and 7th seed's going to at this point. The 5th seed, it's either going to be the Cowboys or the Eagles, depending on possibly who wins this next game. And because the Cowboys still only have 3 losses. If they beat the Eagles, that might, put their division up in the air at that point, right? Mm-hmm. And it puts us in the one hole with us controlling our destiny, having to win out because we don't need the 3 losing streak we had. That was like, that hurt. We needed to win one of those, folks. But at this point, all we can do is win games and cheer for whoever the Eagles are playing. But yeah, I'm not afraid of any team I see on this list. I'm really not. If we end up in the number 2 seed, have to win the division, the wild card round against whoever gets in number 7. But then, the next round is where it gets interesting. Because if the Eagles get the number 1 seed, they're going to get the lowest seed. And we're going to be playing the next up. So we'll either have, the Lions, possibly the Falcons if they win that game, or the Cowboys. And it would just depends on how it all plays out, And the Eagles would get whoever the worst team is left. So I'm honestly thinking in the second round, we would end up seeing the Lions, which not afraid of any team at this point.
Yeah,
I think
go ahead, Jim.
I'm not afraid of any team either, and I think we'll get everybody's best, but I believe we're the number 1 team in the NFL. So we're the gauntlet.
Yeah, definitely leading the way because everybody wants to be the Niners. They won't give us the credit that we deserve. Because every time when you see, this or that guy doing something, it's always some kind of ruse as far as like, oh, well, find something to complain about the quarterback or, some weak sauce about, anything, even the fact that, in our last game, we give up 95 plus yards to the opposing wide receivers. Okay. So yeah, that's already been an obvious, situation for, our secondary needing to be a little bit, tightened up in that area. But, it's like just the fact that how they won that game, so it's just, I don't know, it just weighs everything else out. It's like you can't say anything good. The media, but a lot of the media now seems to be turning the page. They're like, oh, hey, let's reverse the script now. Now all of a sudden everybody's finding something incredibly interesting to say about Brock Purdy, and that's wild.
Okay, so just hypothetical, thinking of it, if the Eagles was to win out, the 49ers would have to play the Packers. The number 2 seed would play the 7th seed. The Lions would be the 3rd seed. They would play the Vikings, which is kind of funny because they've already played them like 2 times already, right? This would be a divisional playoff game. Then you have the Falcons playing the Cowboys. So we're just gonna assume here the Lions move on, the 49ers move on. We're gonna say that the Cowboys move on, right? So the Niners would be playing ideally the Lions, right? And the Eagles would have to play the Cowboys. So either way, it looks like we're going to end up having to play either the Cowboys or the Eagles one more time in the playoffs. And at this point, I don't really see either one of them being something that we need to be afraid of. Just, again, one game at a time, keep your head down, don't look at the Lombardi, look at the game in front of you. And I think we can do it. I really, truly think we can do it. As far as the AFC, I don't really care. I really don't care. I think if you guys go and look at that YouTube short I did, or you go and look at the logo clip that I got from Levi, shout out to Darwin's Ravens. He was the one who told me about it. The last couple Super Bowls, they put the logo out there, and it's really, 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 really weird. How do you put the logo out there and the teams they haven't played, right? But the colors of those teams seem to be already decided. Is it all about color coordinating? I mean, I know I'm wearing a black and red hat. Tony's wearing a red hoodie right now. We're trying to match. We want to look good as well. But to predict the Super Bowl and make a logo, I don't understand why the logo can't be black and white until the game is revealed. But I want to show you guys all this. Just a second. Wait, if you haven't seen this and you think I'm just babbling, there's something to it, right? Pull your tinfoil hats out, everybody.
Right? Babbling since when?
Now, if that's
Maybe
the
something to it.
scenario,
You never know.
I'll take it. I think we're gonna. I don't think we're gonna lose again to the Ravens in the Super Bowl. Tell you what, don't think it's gonna happen. Lamar Jackson better watch out.
Now we don't have the coach that willingly gave it to his brother, so I think we're good.
You think that's kind of what happened? Kind of feel it. I feel it a little bit. We were that close, and you tried Crabtree 4 times let's get the fingers, 4 times in the end zone, the same play. Frank Gore ran all the way down there. I mean, you can't I don't know. I think, maybe it's a little too early to put the tinfoil hats on, but you're onto something, Jess. I agree. I really, really, really agree. All right. So Tony, what do you got on the docket?
Well, now we are going into our round 2 matchup with the Seattle Seahawks. This time they get to come to our house.
Whose house?
Our house. Home of the red and gold. So do we have anything? We'll start with some of the worst stuff first. Are there any concerns as far as any positions or specific players?
I think we're going to have to worry about Drew Lock. He is not Geno Smith, and we are not familiar with him. He's underrated, and he could definitely be a spoiler. Your thoughts? No?
Well,
We're just
he's
gonna
not
wipe
Jason Stidham.
I know a couple years ago we lost to Colt McCoy, but I think we'll be okay.
I just have this thought, sometimes, when you don't expect to play against the backup and you end up playing against the backup and they light you up. It's like what's happening in Cincinnati right now. Backup came out and he's playing good. What happened to us with the Browns? Backup came out, played. Josh Dobbs with the Cardinals. He come out to play. He beat who? The Cowboys? Oh yeah, them boys, right? Yeah, right. And then, so I'm just, any dog can have his day, I guess, and I guess that's the most important thing. But I just definitely do not want us to go in overconfident, like, oh, it's just the Seahawks. No, it's the Seahawks, folks. You watch out. Pete Carroll will be chewing gum, and he's not done yet. He is not done yet. He has not retired, and we have not gotten over this record. We're still 30-21. David, what's your thoughts?
Well, was it Pete Carroll or was it Russell Wilson?
So that's a good point. But and I've made this statement before too, with the 49ers and the Seahawks, before the divisions changed, we did own the record. But then in 2003, when the divisions changed, we have not been favorable in this matchup at all. So if you go all the way back to Holmgren, Sean Alexander, Matt Hasselbeck, we have not had a good score against them at all. We've been below 500 this entire time. They've owned it.
We sucked. Those were the dark years. 02 to 2010. Those were the dark years.
Mm-hmm.
And they were actually a feasible team under, who was that? It wasn't Mike Holmgren, was it? No, was it?
Yeah, Mike Holmgren, the Packers.
Yeah, the guy from the Packers from the '90s. It was him. He was there.
Yep. Our former coordinator.
Yeah, they were a better team than us at that point in time. We had the Yorks. They did not know what they were doing. They hired people that they thought knew what they were doing, and they didn't. And then we run into the Jim Harbaugh, and the guy who actually built most of that team wasn't with the team anymore. That was actually kind of disappointing that they let him go for Trent Baalke. But then we had a few years where we're competing. We're fighting with the Seahawks right there. Punch them in the face, they punch us in the face, and then all of a sudden there goes Jim Harbaugh, and we're back to being owned by him. But 4 victories in a row at this point. 4. There's my sprained wrist hand. It can still do something. And then this next game, it's like, if we beat them, I'm going to start saying it's not Pete Carroll. It was Russell Wilson who owned us. I'm going to start saying that.
Russell's 17-4 against us, if I'm correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes, it was crazy.
Jess, what's your thoughts? Did we let Mike Nolan go too fast, too soon?
Ooh, I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, everything happens for a reason. I mean, look where we are now compared to then. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're in a very nice situation right now. This is definitely a perfect time of year to be excited for your team, especially if you're the fan of 49ers. Yeah, beating the Eagles, I don't want to get stuck in that mindset, because I don't want to sleep on any team. But since beating the Eagles, I'm thinking I don't see any games we're gonna lose. I mean, if we just beat the Eagles, who was potentially our biggest game, our biggest matchup, or hardest matchup, I don't see us losing. I mean, obviously we have to face off with the Ravens, so that's another. But if we can come out because Lamar Jackson is almost the same type of quarterback as far as, he can throw the ball deep. He's got a couple of people around him to get the ball out quick to, and he runs. So it's going to be definitely interesting on that game as well. Christmas.
We have a couple more games we have to stay focused in, and we can't get too ahead of ourselves. I do think the Niners play better when they feel like it's the world against us. It's us against the world kind of thing. When everybody starts saying they're the super team, I think they kind of take a super step back. And I just hope that's not the case this time, but that's how I felt. And that's how that really has been their problem a couple times. Injuries do happen, but I think right now we're really, really healthy. All right. Jess, me and you don't get to talk too often. I have a good question for you. If he's still around, do the Niners sign Zach Ertz next week?
I think so. Because there's like, with Ross Dwelly going, I think he put on IR yet or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think he
Yes,
is.
he was. He was.
With him being put on IR, I mean, there's like a huge drop off from like Kittle, and then you have Charlie Warner. So I could see us definitely going after Ertz for sure.
Yeah, that would be a great addition.
Just a security blanket. I think Juice can do almost everything that Kittle can do, and they can use him into tight end formation if that's what they want to do, or however they've been using him already. But I think if something does happen to Kittle, it's nice to have another good player back there. And right now, it's almost like playing. It's like Steal a Bacon in a way. You guys ever play that game in elementary? Where you ran over and tried to grab the eraser in the middle of the basketball court. Anyways, so I feel like this is like weapons of mass destruction. We have to try to keep this player from the Eagles, and he wants to go to a contending team. There's a reason he hasn't signed yet. I think he's waiting for us.
Yeah, I don't see him going back to the Eagles. Apparently, there was a problem there, which is why he left in the first place. But yeah, it would be nice to have him. I mean, a true like 2 tight end sets, like that would be great.
David, would you sign Mr. Ertz if you were the 49ers?
I don't see why not, because at this point, Charlie Warner, he's a good blocker, but he hasn't produced much in the passing game. Ross Dwelly's on IR. We got the rookie Braden Willis, which we all know what Kyle thinks of rookies. So I really don't see why not. What's it going to hurt? You'll have a second tight end. In the passing game, we'll have a second tight end we can put in. I don't see really a downside to it.
Yeah, you definitely need somebody who's going to be most certainly better than a Charlie Warner and a Ross Dwelly. Obviously, we're probably not going to be able to afford another George Kittle to complement him. But I think we can get something close in Ertz. I think Ertz is somebody that can work with our offense.
He's somebody who could catch the ball. He's definitely not a George Kittle. Nobody's a George Kittle. And my analogy with Juice is they're very versatile. They can do a lot of similar things, but Juice is not Kittle, nor is, but they both are very, very good players. So let's go ahead and let's drop this link. If you guys want to come on for a couple minutes, we are going to try to keep the show moving. You got to keep going forward, right? But we want to get a couple of you guys to come in. Justice has some questions. David has some questions. Tony and I. And let's see if you would like to come in, maybe talk a little 49er football. If anybody does anything, hey, I'll delete the video. That's just how it is. We are not going to lose out. We are all content creators. We are all friends, and hopefully, we can have some fun. So we're going to drop the link right now. Again, no pressure, but if anybody wants to hop in, they could come in for a couple minutes and we can talk some football. Jess, while I'm doing that, what's your thoughts on Big Don? We were talking about it a little bit this morning. He's a psychologist. He is a Philadelphia Eagle. Yeah, he's controlled in. He has a lot of operations for the players, so he's kind of like a counselor. He's supposed to give them the advice and help counsel them. And he's been with the Eagles for 25 years. And with 25 years of experience, what's your thoughts? Do you think he kind of blew his cool on Sunday?
I think so. I think the guy's a loser, to be honest with you. I don't think he should be on the sideline. And the fact that, Dre Greenlaw gets fined close to $11,000, and this guy is only, he can't be on the sideline for Sunday's game. That's like the only thing. I mean, they say that there's still more to come, but I really don't think so.
TechNet Chick, we see you right here, bringing it up real quick. That's what we read on the report today. He is a psychologist. I love that word. It's very, very challenging for me to say it sometimes. So we read that. We read how long he's been with the Eagles, and he has so many different tasks for being the head security guard. And for whatever reason, he thought that the players needed to, be broken up. And I don't think that's necessarily his job. But yeah, he gives them a little bit of advice and counseling as well. So I thought that was a fun tidbit. We had a little Sponge on this morning, and he's a Philadelphia Eagle. Check him out. He's got a cool channel. He's a good guy. Passionate fan, very passionate fan. And he's trying to take the loss as humble as possible. He truly is. But I don't think he could see that we're trying to take the Niners and the Eagles out of this scenario. And for any team to have a sideline official or sideline personnel player attack a NFL player during the game, which causes that NFL player to then be thrown out, and there's not the same type of repercussions for that. So, we're talking about that employee now. Just does not make it fair to me at all. The fine that Dre Greenlaw is going to have, sure, he's got the money, but it just doesn't make any sense. And we did bring up the point that the cheetah over there in Miami, I'm trying to think of his name, MVP guy.
Tyreek Hill.
Thank you so much. He did a backflip holding a NFL photographer's phone, and they fired him. He's gone. He's not playing for the NFL. He's not playing, taking pictures for the NFL. So Tyreek, stand-up guy, he said he's going to pay the guy's salary for the year. So, hey, they said it was an accident. They didn't plan on it. They were just doing something fun. And the NFL was like, no, out. So 25 years of being a security guard, being a player personnel, being one of those guys that's in the locker room, you've seen multiple people come and go. You've seen this franchise turn over. I mean, it's been 29 years for the 49ers since we won a Super Bowl, right? The Eagles have been to, 3 Super Bowls since then? So you've been around and you've seen some things, right? I just don't think it was the right way to go about it. So what's your thoughts again, Jess? I know you said he was a loser. Do you have anything else you want to add to it before we
he shouldn't be on the sidelines. And it wasn't his place to try to, break that up. And, unfortunately the refs always see the second person. So, I mean, yeah, we got the penalty and stuff, but that's usually how it goes.
Yeah, Kenny. If you guys haven't met Kenny, he's my cousin. We've been doing some stuff on YouTube. He's quite a character. If you'd like to call in, come on in. Rick Diaz, if you'd like to call in, just tap the link. Come on in. Steve-O, you're always more than welcome to come in for a couple minutes. Let's talk some shop. But yeah, I just don't think the guy should be in the NFL anymore. I really don't. I think that was just that's embarrassing for the franchise. It really, truly was. I don't think the tackle was that bad. They weren't going to eject him from it for the game. He didn't get a fine for the tackle. He got a fine because he touched the guy's face. Come on, I don't know. It's just a really, really weird moment.
Yeah, it was.
All right, so my score predictions for the Seahawks game. I want to be fun. I really want to be fun. I'm going to say, oh, geez. I know David and me talked a little bit earlier today. I think I said something like, I don't even know if I dropped my score prediction. I like Bebop's earlier. He said 42-19. It's a pretty good number. I think we're going to score more than 30. And I don't think the Seahawks are going to score much. I really don't. Unless Drew Lock comes out and he's unlocked and they busted the key and no one can clamp him down, then but I think we got it. I think we got it under wraps. There's a reason they let him go in Denver. There's a reason they chose to move on. I thought he was doing good with Denver. It's one of those things. It's like when you start with a quarterback and you believe in him and you give him a couple of years, that's one thing. But when you start pulling him and putting the other quarterbacks in and saying this guy isn't our guy, kind of the writing on the wall. You're not going to be here much longer. Bearing injury or something like that, and you ever get your foot again, that's the only reason you're going to like come back. And Denver had a lot of good quarterbacks over the years, and they just haven't fizzled or worked out for him. So they go and trade for Russell Wilson. Thank you. You got him out of our division, right? Yeah. But, geez, what's your thoughts, David? Drew Lock, the 49ers, are we going to score big? We're going to beat them? Is there going to be any records broken?
Well, I said 31-12 this morning. I was going to give them credit for 4 field goals, but I don't know. I don't know if we'll even see that. There's apparently been reports that there's a slim chance Geno is going to come in, but a conflicting report happened. The Seattle Seahawks have called up the quarterback from the practice squad. Geno will not be playing, folks. Why would they do that if Geno is going to be there? Right?
Well, I guess just for, precautionary reasons, but I mean, they said he was limited in practice. He's going to try to go, we'll see. I'm going 38-17.
I said 31-12 this morning. And,
I think you're the only one who hasn't said a number.
Probably giving the Seahawks too much credit.
I'm going to go 31-20.
31-20.
Ooh, 20.
Wow, that's too close.
This is one of those games where I'm just a little skeptical. Not that I have, no faith in our team to pull out the win. Is you never know really what Pete Carroll's got up his sleeve. And I know, we were just talking, and I know a lot of that offense that was, with Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson seemed to be a lot on Russell Wilson, but a lot of me believes the opposite. I like to think that Pete Carroll has definitely shown that he's very creative. And if there's one thing that coach does not like, it's a divisional rival. So I'm going to give them a little bit of a benefit of the doubt because I don't want to come off with the blowout points as much as I want to. And something unfortunate happened. So I want to keep it humble this week.
All right. I respect it. One thing I have to say, I kind of said it earlier, the Seahawks, right? They went ahead and they are like top 5 in special teams. And I know people are like special teams and they roll their eyes and they laugh, but you know what? When they play us in special teams, they have big plays. Fake field goal, blocked field goal, return for touchdowns, big returns. And right now, our special teams for the last couple of weeks haven't been doing necessarily the best in tackling. When our punter has to get out there and make a tackle, or our kicker is getting blocked because he's trying to make a tackle, I am not into that. I do not like that at all. Kickers and punters are supposed to kick and punt. They're not supposed to tackle. Okay, it's not that they can't. That's just not their job, right? We want to keep them upright on 2 legs.
Hey, Armstead is out.
Yeah, they want to rest him for like.
There are reports that the Seattle's running back, I believe, what's his name, Kendall Walker, is going to be playing. So we're going to see a lot more of Javon Kinlaw. And something I've been wanting to see, Kalia Davis.
Yeah. KD.
Yeah. And, there's a reason I'm wanting to see Kalia Davis. Chances are Kinlaw's not coming back. Givens is an unrestricted free agent. And we'll all talk about that in the offseason, folks. We ain't worried about that right now. But I want to see more of him. He, before his ACL injury, there were talks that he's a first, second round talent. And then, we picked him, and here he is, 6'2", 310 pounds of him. I want to see him on the field playing. I want to see what the kid has.
That's a good point, David. Kinlaw might not be here. More than likely, he will not be here. Even if we win a Super Bowl, they're probably more likely not keeping him. He would probably go to a team. I could see maybe like the Texans or Tennessee or even New York. I see him, just possibly just leaving, right? And that's okay. Go somewhere, go get paid somewhere else. The Niners, we giving you a long time, and it's almost like the amount of time that we give you cost us too much. So, Kinlaw, big player, we need you now. And right now, go out and prove yourself, get a contract for another team, provide, do what you got to do. Good player. He showed a lot of upgrade, and, he stepped up a lot this year, right? Where maybe he didn't have the same production that he has in the last couple of years. And, again, barring injuries, but it helps when you're not injured. I'll be back. I got a little one I got to check on.
And he's also a rotational player this year too. He's not starting, not getting the snap counts that, he was getting last year because, let's face it, who did we have in the middle? We had Armstead and we had like T.Y. McGill, and, Kevin Givens is decent, but we had T.Y. McGill, Kinlaw, and Armstead. Those are pretty much our guys and Kevin Givens, in the playoffs last year. And now we got Hargrave and Armstead, and, Hargrave's good football player. So, he's became a rotational player. Seems to be doing pretty good with that, and his knee issue hasn't come up yet,
Yeah, this is this could be his showcase year. If the Niners can get anything as far as in value, as far as maybe a trade at the end of the season for him, maybe that might be one way of getting at least something back for him. But at this point, yeah, I don't see him, even if he has a, bowling out season this year, which he hasn't, but he has shown some improvement. But I don't think the Niners are going to, worst case scenario, if nobody picks him up, maybe he might be one of those guys that can get signed onto the practice squad. But, somebody who wants respect on their name probably don't want to take a giant pay cut either. But then again, you have to be a starter for the Niners. But we'll see. We'll definitely see. The Niners can totally blow our minds and do the exact opposite. Who knows? But then again, if you're trying to make it better, I don't know. I just hate it when you have a guy, they're getting ready to leave, and then they all of a sudden want to start playing good. And you're like, okay, we wanted to see a little bit more of this, like, more often. Like, we already knew you were able to, but that's fine.
So what do you guys think about the fact that Armstead, Burford, Ray, Dwelly, and Mitchell are all out tomorrow?
Go ahead, David.
Gulp. Well, Burford, we have Feliciano to come in for him, so that's kind of lateral move. Actually, I kind of like Feliciano a little more than Burford because Burford's been getting a lot of penalties, although he, last game he played actually was really good. But Mitchell, it's only a matter of time before he injures the knee and, he misses time. That's just the fact of his career at this point. It's kind of sad to see because the last couple of games he's been putting out, like 6-ish yards per rush. So that's kind of, but here comes JP Mason, who's averaging 5.6 on the season. So I'm not worried about that too much. Dwelly, he's good for 3 catches a season. I honestly feel like we're not going to miss him. Ray, though, our returner, Debo coming out, returning kickoffs. He's running out. He's looking for someone to run over, and that's just plain entertainment, in my opinion. But Ronnie Bell will get a chance to return punts. Last week he kind of looked a little iffy at it, but now he's got a week of practice. On the practice field, catching punts from the expert at the banana punt, Mitch, and he should be a lot better this week. But overall, they will be a few of those guys will be missed. I think we'll be all right.
And I think if I'm not mistaken, they what is that? They activated Chris Conley and McNichols, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Jeremy McNichols was activated from the practice squad over TDP. who ended up making it through waivers and getting cut.
Wow.
I
Yeah,
honestly think that's kind of funny.
that is. It's like part of me is kind of sad to see him go, but the other part is kind of, you get tired of seeing, like you want better results. That's what we're trying to do, better results.
Yeah.
When you see a problem and it's kind of get in the way, then unfortunately we gotta, it's kind of like your fantasy football. Like, who's gonna get you more points? Because you want that guy to be starting.
Speaking of fantasy football, all right. Had a lot of fun this year. I'm in 2 leagues. Tony's in 2 leagues. Playing with somebody really special. I think you guys might know her. If you're in the chat, you might be looking at her. Great league. Having a lot of fun with Jess up here. Not doing the best in your league, Jess, but you are looking at Mr. and Mrs. second and third place in our other league. I'm just saying. So I don't know how you're scoring or how it's working, but that's why sometimes you don't just do 1 league, you do 2. I'm so thankful I didn't do 3. I think that would have been a little bit too much on me this year. I have done that in the past, and it's just I did a fantasy for a while where I had to just take a little bit of a break, and it's a lot of fun. It really is. And it's funny because I have Josh Allen in your league. Tony has him in our other league, and he's doing good there. He's not doing good in mine. So it's like this is one of those things. But yeah, if you guys ever are in the chat, you ever want to throw out who you're playing, how your fantasy football record is doing, that's always fun to promote, tell people about. I like the jokes, hey, you want to see my fantasy football roster? No, I don't want to see your roster. That's, people are always proud of their team and stuff like that. But yeah.
Or it's when you're going to be facing off with each other and you're like, hey, can you help me with my lineup?
One sad thing, if you want to say anything just about what's happened in any of your leagues, one sad thing is I had Aaron Rodgers in both leagues. He's on IR in both leagues. Yeah. I'm not very happy about that. I was hoping, I'd be able to put him in there for some key matchups or something like that. No, it wasn't his year.
Brian, I play you this week.
Oh, cool.
I can help you with your lineup.
So I played, I think, Tony last week, and then this week we're playing each other in our other league. So it's really funny. It's like I don't want to take 2 L's, but my last week, I think in your league, I didn't do any roster adjustments. I said, okay, I'm just going to let it play. And Tony was like, she's just going to let it play. So we didn't do any corrections. I think she beat me by a couple points.
Oh my gosh. In my 1 league, I literally lost by 1 point on a beat up roster. Like everybody was on bye last week for me. And I literally lost by 1 point on a beat up, not even filled up.
That happened to me a couple weeks ago. I lost by I had all my good players in, but I lost by 1 point, and I was so pissed.
But it's 1 point. You're like, oh, it's 1 point. Yeah. Oh man, a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Well, yeah, we'll hang out for just a couple more minutes, and I guess if nobody wants to come on, then we'll sing our favorite song, MICKEY MOUSE. If you know the words, you can sing along with me. I love that song. I was a Mickey Mouse Clubhouse kid. I really was. Loved it. And you know what? Shout out Tailspin. If you guys don't know, about Hulu, you should go check them out. So, okay, we got the Seahawks. We have got the Cardinals coming up after that. No, it's Commanders, right?
Nope. Cardinals, Ravens.
Commanders, then Ravens.
Then Commanders.
Because we're in the bird hunt.
Yeah, you're right. Bird hunt. Yeah. And then after the Ravens, it's Commanders, then the Rams, right? So the Rams, that Ram game might be a little bit more competitive than what we want at this point. If the season ends today,
we're gonna need it.
They need it. They need it.
We're gonna need it.
You think we'll need it?
They're gonna need it. So, and it's a home game for us. Well, either place we play them, it's a home game for us. Let's face it. But both teams need it. The better team wins. Who's the better team?
The Rams, the Seahawks.
I'll give you a clue.
Yeah, I definitely need to. If we can sweep the division again this year, then we're doing great. We're
It
doing great.
would be fantastic. I am kind of worried about the Cardinals game, though. Y'all might look at me funny.
Oh,
But
they
the
better
mighty
win because I'll
midget,
be at that one.
the mighty midget is back, and them Cardinals have always been pesky. So I again don't care if we win by 1 point. If we win by 40, a win's a win.
Absolutely.
It's true.
They can be ugly. They could be pretty, just as long as you win.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to it. It's been, I'm no hunter, but this year I certainly am. One to actually take advantage of watching the sport when it comes to bird hunting, because this has been a very fascinating, at least 2 weeks in. Now we're on our third bird.
Yep.
We're going back for seconds on this one, so it must have been good the first time around. It's got to go back for
No,
more.
no. The first time we got a sea turkey.
Yeah,
That was Thanksgiving Day, so it's a sea turkey. But now we're going, for a sea chicken. But either way, the bird don't fly, so it really isn't a hard hunt. You just have to track them down.
That's right. Yeah, that's gonna be that'll be fun. That's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. I don't think any plans except for staying home, watching the game. You got any plans for game day?
I gotta do some yard work. Here it is November. It hasn't snowed all the way yet. I got a tree or two I gotta trim down, and just so sunlight hits certain spots and actually melts snow instead of me having a big old ice. Just got a doggo. She's going full internet famous here.
Love it. Oh, puppy kisses.
Oh, sweet dog. It's like there's her face with a lick.
This is Kaya.
Kaya. Oh, how beautiful. How old?
She's 2.
2. Oh my goodness. So fun.
She's just chilling.
Yeah, we have Bruce. I keep trying to okay, so his family keeps wanting to convince us to get a cat. I don't have a problem necessarily with a cat too often, as long as it's not a jerk, But I could tell it's a decent looking cat, But my husband's like, no. And my daughters, they keep on, hey Dad, can we have a cat? And then his brothers are the ones that keep coming up with all these little strays, and I'll give them credit. They're definitely wonderful looking cats, and your heart starts opening up and you want to give them a home. So I told his brothers one day in front of him, I said, that's something you're just going to end up having to bring to our house and drop off when Bryant's here, because then Bryant can't really say no.
No, I don't. We don't need a cat. We have a dog who thinks he's a cat. It's a done deal. He thinks he's a cat. I mean, like.
Hey, while we're on the cat subject, I saw something I've never seen in my life today involving a cat. Saw this fellow walking with a leash. He come around the corner, and there was a cat on the other end. I was like, I've never seen anyone walking a cat on a leash before, folks. I've never seen it. I was just like, and the cat's just walking along with him. Like, I'm sitting there like, does that cat think it's a dog or something? Like, I've never seen that before.
Yeah, that's wild. I have a friend who has a cat. His name is Cairo, and he literally is like this giant cat that looks like a cheetah. It's got like those jaguar spots all over it and everything. He's like, whoa. She walks it around with a little leash. Darn thing is just all happy as can be. And then she has this like American Staffordshire Bull Terrier, beautiful dog. And they're just like best buds. And it's just really funny. You're like, here's a dog and a cat on a leash going out, having a great life together.
Folks, I don't know how we got here or how we ended up or where we'll end up next, but we'll be back. It's been a lot of fun. Check out Jess on Wednesdays on East Coast Red and Gold, on Fridays with Beto Niner Sickness Podcast. She also, every once in a while, graces us with her presence on the Friday night show. So check those out. Turn your notifications on. Me and David, we go live usually on Saturdays and Sundays. I have David almost every episode I can get him. He's a great friend, great guy. And then David, he does stuff as well. He does things with Damian Lee, We also have the Colton McNiner Show. On Mondays, we do things with Ty Austin. I think this lady up here knows about Ty. And we do things with Aaron as well from 49ers First Take. We have the Coast to Coast. And we just keep it moving. Wednesdays, David, will you tell us what's going on Wednesdays on your channel?
The Corey Davis NFL Pick Show. It is on my channel, folks. There was a point in time where it was just me and him. You know, if you subscribe to his channel, that's Corey Davis with a K, you can rewind his videos to the early days, and you will see me on there with a bare wall behind me and horrible lighting. It's awesome.
Yes, definitely tune in for that. But on Wednesdays, Corey Davis Pick'em Show will be now on David McNiners, and you just come in the chat, drop your score predictions. Just, I know the season's already started. Maybe if you want to do it next season, or if you want to just play along. But at the end of the season, we tally up the things. And Corey Davis was super cool. He would always try to make sure somebody got a hat or a T-shirt or a plaque or something. And David and I are going to help try to continue that tradition for KD. And
Awesome.
we're just gonna keep rolling, guys. Thanks for coming. I'm gonna drop our little outro.
I have to correct myself. Shout out to Steve-O for reminding me. It's Corey Lockdown Davis NFL Pick Show. That's what I'm calling it.
Oh, Joe Stevens just came in the chat with his "Go Hawks." Get out of here.
I always think that's funny. Like, where are the Hawks going? Like, he always says "Go Hawks." I'm like, where are they going? But with that, folks, we're going to go, and we'll see you next time. Enjoy the outro.
Absolutely. Have a great night.
Go Niners.